Oh, Jurga starting before Flauke. That's fine though. Alright, so I'm gonna use this time to explain the version differences. So as you'll notice, Jurga's on English, whereas Flauke is on Japanese. Now in Luigi's Mansion, Japanese saves about 25 seconds in this category, due to a Japanese exclusive trick in just text. Now in Area 1 and up to boot release, I believe, English actually has a slight edge, because there's less text as certain EGAD dialogue, I'll be mentioning that. That actually gives Jurga a little bit of an advantage in Area 1. So, yeah, he could be ahead after Area 1 because of that. But who knows? I'll also point out the Japanese exclusive trick because it's actually pretty cool. One more difference is that on Japanese, you take half as much damage as on English. So, it's very less likely that you will be at risk and need to get health.
Yeah, so Flauke has a slight edge, but if either plays, it really depends on how they play at the end of the day.
So yeah, one thing that's really cool about Area 1 in this game is that it actually has almost zero RNG. You only can lose some frames of lightning, but that doesn't really matter. So all of your time loss in Area 1 is your fault, which is really actually cool at top play, because it basically means that Area 1 really matters. It's not like you can get screwed over by RNG, whereas you can in every other area in the game. Thought going for the double here, let's see. Nice, you got the double and Jurga. They are neck and neck. If they continue to be like this, Jurga will pull ahead, which is cool to see the underdog ahead of the Flauke here. So they're both entering wardrobe at almost the same time. They're almost in sync.
Pretty much synced up here.
Oh, but Jurga having a bad suck up on the first gold ghost.
Unfortunately, but that doesn't really mean much in the sake of the entire run.
Everyone's Area 1. It's really hard to play. It's a pretty difficult area to do really good. Especially because of the doubles. Like, especially the anti-room doubles. Those can be really hard to do optimally.
Really just takes a lot of practice.
Practice and, yeah. Because it's pretty easy to, like, have them stunned for too long and then they just disappear.
So coming up here is Neville, which is the first Area 1 boss. There are a few... Yeah, portrait ghosts. They're like the little mini bosses. So we're gonna see Jurga with that faster dialogue.
Yes, right here, there's less text boxes on the English version. It's probably hard to tell because Flauke is ahead, but trust me, there are less dialogue boxes there, making him catch up a little bit.
So there are a few different setups that you can do for sucking up Neville.
Ooh, Jurga going too early.
Now unfortunately, Jurga went too early, which is gonna set him back a little bit.
Up left Neville can be pretty hard if you do it too early. Yeah, that's a pretty hard strat. It took me some time to learn it. But eventually you'll get down. But Jurga just getting unlucky. So, because there isn't much to talk about in Area 1, I'm just going to talk about waves and twirls, because there's nothing really else to say. Every time a ghost enters a vacuum, there'll either be a wave or a twirl animation. This can be manipulated to be faster. Generally, twirls are faster, but if you have a really fast wave, it can be faster than even some twirls. But it's mostly RNG at like a level like this where they're not really trying to manipulate it, so... Well, twirls and waves are just going to be really RNG for them right now.
Going up for Flauke here is the first Area 1 boss, Chauncey.
He'll probably be going for the ball catches. Ball catches are another strat that, like, once you learn how to do them, they're pretty easy.
They take a while to learn, though.
One thing you'll be noticing in this fight is that they'll be getting damaged a lot by Chauncey, and that's because they want to have... Well, they're not going to have it in this time, but if you have... The less money you have in this game, the less money the game has to count. And if you have no pearls and no coins, the money screen is only displayed for 1 frame, whereas being displayed for, like, about a second. So, they both have pearls, meaning they won't have low percent, but they can have 0 coins, which saves a little bit of time.
Low percent being having no money at all.
Nothing at all. That's why the screen's only there for 1 frame.
little bit of a cutscene here, but
Yeah, Area 1 is pretty cutscene heavy. But after that, the gameplay starts.
so we're gonna see Flauke go for that first ball catch here,
Let's see.
and he
Got
gets
it?
it.
I actually don't know if Jurga goes... Oh, he does go for ball catches. Alright, let's see if he gets it. Yo, Jurga,
Ah,
nice.
he got it. Nice.
We both got it. This is a pretty close race. Ooh, if you drag Chauncey below 50 HP, he will do a, he'll send an extra wave of Rocking Horse, and that's like 3 seconds slower. So they try to keep him above 50, that's why they didn't drag him all the way as low as they could. Fun fact, you can't one-cycle Chauncey. The lowest you can get him to, with current knowledge, is 6 health. But that's just unrealistic for a human to do. And Flauke, he moved back too late and he got hit by the ball. Jurga getting the ball catch will definitely give him a little bit of an edge here, and he got it.
All right.
Jurga catching up a little bit. The slow suck up lost him a little bit that time, but you know what? That's good. And a 607 key from Flauke. That's not a bad time at all. Jurga, oh, he almost went out of bounds.
Jurga almost going out of bounds was.
So for those who don't know,
big brain.
in this game, you can go behind that chest and do either knock on the wall or pull out the vacuum, and you can clip out of bounds. And you can actually walk all the way to King Boo and beat the game in under 8.5 minutes. It's pretty crazy. And that's banned in this category. No out of bounds. You can't go out of bounds. There are a couple other places where you go out of bounds, namely the Tea Room, where you can clip with like gain damage and you can clip into the Boolas's stuff. It's pretty interesting, but it's all banned in this run because otherwise the game would be way too short.
There is a separate category on speedrun.com if you're interested.
Yeah, it's just any percent, just beating the game as fast as possible. So, I know both these, I know Jurga, and I guess I think Flauke too, they're probably using some beginner-friendly strats here because it's a race, which means if you guys are interested in learning this game, you can watch what they do, and you can probably maybe learn from them, or these are like the strats you'd be expecting to do when you first start playing this game, which is pretty neat that you get to see some of the strats you'll probably be doing. There's some good guides out there if you guys are very interested. So, this is, something coming up will be called early release. The floating Warlindas, which are the 2 portrait ghosts in the ballroom, which I guess is technically 1, they can randomly show their heart 10 seconds early. There is no known way to manipulate it yet. We've tried, but we haven't found anything, which means if one of them gets it and the other doesn't, the person who doesn't get it will be losing 10 seconds. There's a rare chance they can get it like a little bit delayed and lose some less time, but it will still be losing time versus getting early release. So they want to try to get early release. So let's see if they get it. That'd be pretty hype if they both got it.
Yes, that's really what they're both hoping for, because it can give either of them a huge advantage.
Yeah, 10 seconds is actually, especially at top level play, 10 seconds is definitely not something you want to be losing.
Especially in a tournament too.
A tournament, yes. Alright, now these Shy Guy doubles are really hard, actually. As you can see, Flauke missing one. They are not easy. Even the top level runners sometimes fail them. Like, they're just not something that are as easy to do. So, if you ever, like, just trust me, these are not the easiest thing. They take some practice. Flauke getting some pretty good Shy Guy doubles there.
Jurga got that Shy Guy double too. You can tell they both practice this a lot. If you look over on Flauke's screen, this is where he can try and get early release, and he gets it.
ER. Alright, let's see if Jurga gets it. If he doesn't, this won't be too good for him. Flauke looking like he's gonna be pretty close to a sub 10 boo release, A press at least. Probably gonna be a couple seconds behind, actually. Like a.
Oh, Jurga also gets early release.
Dang! All right, that's pretty hype that they both got early release. None of them lost a lot of time to RNG. And now Flauke's gonna be doing something called poster skip. I like to call it early poster because it's just a better name in my opinion. In which he sucks off the posters through the wall. And that way, when he goes to press the button, he doesn't have to pull off the poster, and it saves him a little bit of time because he has to wait for the ghost to spawn anyway. Flauke getting that storage double, and this is looking to be like a around a 10:08, 10:07 boo release. My calculations are right. Actually, wait, no, 10:04. And yeah, Jurga not too far behind because of oh, look at that. He got the good. They both got the double. Yeah, 10:04. Oh, 10:05. So this is where because there's a lot of text after this split, Jurga will now start falling behind because he's on English. A lot of games have this where Japanese is a faster text. So
yeah, there's just gonna be a lot of text here.
I'll be taking this time to explain R pumping. Now in this game, every time you start damaging a boo, they are in place for 10 HP. Which means that if you hold L and R and then let go and repress R, you'll start using the blow feature in the vacuum and then go immediately back to sucking. And when you do that, the ghost cycle will repeat, so you can do 10 damage again without them moving. So, and they also have something called cackles, which is like the laugh type sound they make. And every after 15 cackles, the game forces them out of the room. Which means if you optimally R pump, you will be able to do 150 damage before they start moving. But that's really hard to do, so they probably won't be. It's very hard to do optimally, so they'll probably lose a couple of HP. Another thing that's to note is that the boos might cackle faster than normal, or more times than normal. This is called a double cackle, and it makes them reach their cackle limit a lot faster, which basically means that they'll do less HP before the boo move leaves, which is a very bad thing. Especially on the later HP boos that have exactly 150. Meaning if they double cackle once, it becomes pretty hard to get them. So yeah, as you can see, Flauke is R pumping boos. Now one thing to note about R pumping is it actually loses a little bit of time every time you R pump because those are frames you're not dealing damage on. Meaning that like for example this wardrobe boo, as you see Flauke does not R pump it because he can get it without R pumping and that's optimal. So he saves a little bit like about maybe half a second to just not R pumping there. And boos in this game are completely RNG, by the way. Like, they are you have no way of controlling them at all. So, if they lose time to boos, it's usually not their fault. There might be some times when they have a bad read. But yeah, it's just usually not their fault if they lose time to boos.
Boos make up a lot of the RNG in this game.
Yes, they do. So storage room is kind of annoying to read sometimes because there's some of the crates that are hard to get to. So you might see some people struggle to hit some of like the back crates or like the top crates. It's just pretty hard in that room. I don't like it very much.
So once Flauke sucks up this last boo in the ballroom, he's gonna get a call from EGAD telling him to go into the bathroom.
Yes.
Where he's gonna get a key that's going to lead him into a room where he can get the first element in the game, which is fire. And there's a few cool tricks that we can do with fire that I'll explain in a little bit.
Yeah. Fire has some, he's gonna be, alright, so in this run there's gonna be something called save warping, which you'll be coming up here, where if you get boo, you can save and then reset the game, and this has some useful properties. Like it's basically a little bit faster than mirror warping. There are some cases where you can do it where it barely saves time. You probably won't be seeing them do it there, but what they're gonna be doing is something called fire warp, where they get the fire element and save warp with the boo. This skips all of EGAD's text in the little puzzle of having to light the torches in this room to leave it. It actually saves more time on English because of the slower text. But they'll both be trying to get it. Now, if they get the medallion and the boo is spawned, they will have to come back in area 3 or 4, preferably area 3, and get the boo. So hopefully they don't miss it. Worst case scenario, it loses about 15 seconds to have them to come back in here. The boo doesn't have much health, so it's not that big of a time loss. Ooh, missing the double white Flauke. These doubles.
Those are some of the harder doubles to get because of the grabber ghost inconsistent hitboxes at times. Yeah,
but yeah, they're not the easiest doubles in the game. I will say that I miss them sometimes, and actually I miss them a lot. So yeah, they are not very easy doubles to get.
Here, Flauke is going for that fire warp.
Yes, let's see if Flauke can get fire warp. So
sometimes the boo can escape, which could lead to a slight bit of time loss, and he gets it.
So one thing I should mention is that whenever a key or an element pops out of a chest, there's a brief period of time where the vacuum cannot lock onto it. Your runners will probably use that time to try to get the medallion drag the medallion and the boo to try to get fire warp a little bit easier. Okay, so coming up soon after Flauke gets this key here, he'll be doing something they'll be doing something called a flashlight cancel. Now this they'll be doing this all over the place probably. And what it does is that whenever Luigi goes from a dark room or a lit room to a dark room, he'll try to pull out the flashlight. Like, oh, he missed it there. But every time he goes from not having his flashlight out to a dark room, so a lit room or an item, he will pull out the flashlight, and that animation takes some time. But if you press the element button down, he will skip that by just spraying the element, and that saves some time. But because of how many times they do it, it adds up. And now another thing I should mention that I actually forgot to mention earlier is map glitch. Before the run starts, the players try to soft reset and pull up the map at the same time. And when they do this, it causes something called map glitch. And you will notice that after every key they get, the minimap will not show up. And this is the side effect of that. It persists through resets, it persists through soft resets, it persists through game overs, it persists through everything except turning off the console. So once you do it, you don't have to do it again for the rest of your session, which is pretty nice.
Jurga is a little bit behind, but
he had a bad butler cycle. And that was something called chest skip right there by Flauke. Alright, this is the JP exclusive glitch coming up. So, he opened that chest there because whenever you enter a room where the chest is closed, it plays a little animation. He skipped that. Okay, so here's the Japanese exclusive trick I was talking about. This only works in the Japanese version, so if you have the US or PAL version, this won't work for you. So here we go. Let's see if he gets it. He should get it. I see him do it a bunch.
So what he's gonna do here, he's gonna go into the mouse hole, which is skipping the dialogue of EGAD calling you after you pick up the boo.
Tech skip. Like I said, it's JP exclusive. Oh, he missed that ghost. This is a pretty hard room, actually.
Flauke, unfortunately, missing the fire on
Oh, he got punched, too. And he got a really nice backup quad. That was really good.
I don't know how he came back from that, but that's some tournament strat.
Yeah, Flauke he's a pretty, alright, so he's doing the, tech skip again here. Flauke is a pretty good player, I've seen him, so, I'm not very, that was pretty cool, though. So, yeah. We get larger boo now, because we couldn't get later because of the butler cycle, because, that'd be, the butler cycle
just be too slow.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it. And if the butler leaves before you damage him, you have to go light his candles again, losing you 40 seconds. You can do Longibu while the butler's going, so it's not like 40 seconds, but it's still pretty big, enough to put you pretty far behind. So Jurga, he went for the good hit. He almost got the quad. That'd been pretty cool if he did. And
that's gonna put Jurga behind a bit, but
Flauke is approaching Melody, and Melody has
a slight bit of RNG.
Melody will play 2 songs, Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario Bros. Underwater. If she plays Underwater, it's like a tiny bit faster because you can just mash the A button. Whereas, oh yeah, as you saw there, Jurga didn't get the text skip because he's on English. So Super Mario Bros. 3, you have to hit up to scroll to it. And he actually got Super Mario Bros. 3. You have to scroll to it, which loses some time, and it's just a little bit easier. A little bit harder because with Underwater you can just mash the A button, whereas that you have to scroll up or scroll down. And Jurga having some bad RNG. That object right there is hard to hit in Laundry Room. Melody's room can be one of the worst to have bad RNG in because of how spaced out.
It also has a lot of objects for the boos to hide in, which is one of the reasons that this can be one of the more unforgiving boos in the game.
Especially when on the far left or far right.
There's also another optional boo in the route that only top level runners go for. Yeah, that's in the breaker room. That you cannot one cycle with R pumps. That is very fast. And
you have to drag it.
So maybe later in the tournament we'll see some people going for breaker boo. Maybe. But most people are just going to go for the boo and the boss of Vincent Van Gogh. To see him go for their boo instead.
Yes. So one thing I want to mention that I forgot to. What was it? Oh yeah. So whenever you see them sucking up a boo, you may see them lock on to other stuff. That's called auto lock on. It's a really annoying feature because of what they gave priority. They gave priority to pearls over boos. So when you try to suck up a boo, your vacuum will try to go onto the pearls, and you'll probably stop damaging the boo, which can cost them to leave. Which is why you might see them sometimes try to collect pearls, even though it's no out of balance and not 100%, or any other categories that get pearls like max percent. And Jurga having a hard time and. Which is understandable. This boo is pretty hard. And he's getting the chest. Alright, so,
Flauke is approaching the end of Area 4, which has a little bit of RNG with the new ghost that's introduced here. Mr. Bones. So there's
here in 3 places. Oh yeah, he got bit there because it spawns him faster than just waiting for him to miss you 3 times. So he drags Spooky to the bottom right because he needs to get close to the bone. That way he doesn't have to walk as far. He can go all the way to the doghouse and then have to do an animation to walk out, and it loses you a lot of time. Alright, he's going for, I believe he's going to go for Graveyard Double here. And he got it.
He got it. That's one of the harder tricks to pull off with doubles in this game. So coming up is Bogmire.
Now, Bogmire can be one-cycled, unlike Chauncey. And it's pretty hard to do. It requires some pretty optimal pumps if you do it that way. You can also do it with a C-stick. I don't know how Flauke does it, actually. I believe he might do optimal pumps. So yeah, if you actually press inputs in this cutscene, Bogmire's spawn will be completely random. So you don't want to touch anything in this cutscene, otherwise you can change his spawn. It can be helpful if he spawns in the bottom right. But that's very unlikely, and it's more likely to lose you time than it is to save you time. So hopefully, they one-cycle.
That's the goal. Jurga is on Spooky right now.
Oh yeah, on English, Spooky's a little bit more scary because he does more damage. So the damage you take from him is like a little bit more. Oh, Flauke not one-cycling. But
we'll see if Jurga really goes for the extra heart here, as he's on lower health.
Oh yeah, he's gonna die
comfortable.
He's gonna die quickly if he doesn't get health because English. So yeah, Bogmire is a little bit random. There's sometimes he can stay against a wall, and then a one-cycle is completely free if he does that. But if he tries to go like to the middle of the ring or the upper left, it can be really problematic. And oh no, Jurga is very low, but he's gonna get the 50 heart because he wants to.
Jurga just got the Mr. Bones double too.
He's gonna get the double. Both these players know how to do that double pretty well. So yeah, this is the end of Area 2. This is actually pretty good. For both of them, these are pretty good Area 2s. Especially in a tournament. Now, Area 3 is actually, there isn't much to say for this ice split. It's one of the easy splits in the game. There's a lot of it is cutscenes and just walking. There isn't much tech to it aside from T-Room. T-Room's kind of hard if you do it the fast way. So one thing you'll notice in this game is that there's portraits. You might be thinking, well, they did a really good job on the ghost, why aren't they getting gold frames? And that is, frames are determined by the pearls you get, and because they're not always getting the big pearl, they're not always going to have gold frame. And Jurga with the one cycle.
Yeah, yes. I think that was the one cycle, which is...
That saves him a lot of time on, it saves about 15 seconds on Flauke. But Flauke had a pretty bad 2 cycle. That might have been closer to 20. So, Jurga's definitely still in this, especially with that. Area 3 is one of the most technical areas in the game.
Yeah, I'll let you explain that. So I gotta go for a second.
Alright, so, coming up here is the wall cutscene. It's just a cutscene. It's a very long cutscene. Nothing really special there. So we kind of just got to just chill here. Oh. That water can be sometimes finicky to get because of that flying fish that you lock onto. Alright, so well, now that they're both in cutscenes, I don't really have much to say right now. I guess I could say that if you hold out an element, usually ghosts don't scare you. So you might see them doing that in a couple places here. This is a 0 health ghost. It's a little bit faster just to suck him up than watering him because of the animation of him dying. But you will see them using an element on 0 health ghosts later on, near the end of the game. They get Mario's letter because they need all the Mario items for the Clairvoyant, the fortune teller. And that's what I'm talking about. If he didn't hold the water out there, he probably would have gotten scared by that, the hanging ghosts, because there's 2 of them. And now this is a key that's actually optional, but it saves a lot of walking, so it's faster to get than not getting it, even though it is optional. And now one thing I should mention is that the hitbox to this door actually extends pretty far beneath it, so you can just shoot water through it and then have the smoke disappear while you're walking to the door. Otherwise, you have to use water on it and then just wait at the top. Flauke is going for a tech skip here. In this game, whenever you suck up a boo and a tablecloth, the game doesn't really think you sucked up the boo, so it doesn't actually trigger the E-guy call. These ceiling ghosts, doing the ghost on the ceiling can be pretty hard. But he got it, which is nice.
Yeah, Flauke might lose a little bit of time there to that, which can give Jurga some leeway to come back from.
This was the other room I was talking about where you can go out of bounds. If you get hit by like a boo, a plate, or a ghost at the right time, you can just clip through the ceiling and be at the Boolas's fight. That's banned to no out of bounds for obvious reasons.
Unfortunately, it doesn't do anything though because you don't have ice yet. So
if you can't do it with the boo, you can actually do it with ice, but it's very hard to do with the boo. It's very, very precise, and it's basically not humanly feasible. So it's not worth it really.
So now, the ice element is a little bit different in this game to the other elements, as if you spray it on a boo, they can temporarily stop moving.
Yeah, so here's another example of holding out an element to not get scared. If you hold out this element, you usually won't get scared. I think I've seen it happen once before, but that's very rare. Another useful thing with ice is that because it freezes the boo, you can actually use ice on a boo and then do something like open a chest or grab a key, and the boo won't leave. So that can be used to save a little bit of time to not having to do it before or after you get a boo. Usually people do it in like Safari Room and Nana's room, so we might get to see that in one of those rooms. So Nana's room right here has yarn balls. These are very infamous because they have really bad collision. If you walk into them, they make Luigi recoil, and it's very annoying if you don't have good yarn balls. And if you hit anything with a yarn ball that's not Nana, she will laugh, and then you'll have to redo the entire room, and it's very annoying. But speedrunners have gotten pretty good at it. It doesn't happen as much as it does the casual players. It's one of those things where once you know the speedrunning strat, it's a little bit easier. Alright, so let's see if we get to see using ice on the boo to freeze it while opening like a chest. No, he's playing it safe. Oh no, he did it! And then he drags the key towards him. So that was a pretty good Nana's room. He had perfect RNG. He had a pretty good, that was pretty optimal. That's what you'd want to expect from a Nana's room. Now they're gonna have to grab fire here because of Astral Hall. Astral Hall is it's actually a pretty hard room because the candles obscure a lot of the room, so the ghosts can very easily get stuck on them. And just lighting up the candles in general is pretty annoying.
Coming up on the room after this is Moonshot, which is a bit of a harder trick to pull off if you don't know any strategies for it. Oh, Jurga just messed up the Nana yarn shot.
So
it's gonna put him back a little bit more.
I don't know what visual cue the runners use for Moonshot actually. The method I use is a V. It's pretty consistent. There's also something called Insta Shot, where if the player decides to shoot the moon, actually, fun fact, the thing you're shooting is not, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's actually a ghost. It's called a shining ghost. Not a lot of people know that's actually a ghost you're shooting. And if you shoot that, as soon as it touches your vacuum, you can get something called Insta Shot. It's very hard to get, And I don't even know if world record goes for it. It's very risky. Usually don't want to do it in a run. Because you're probably going to miss it. And then missing moonshot costs you around 8 seconds. Maybe more, closer to 10. And that's just not something that you want to have. Having time loss of any kind is not good.
Especially not in a tournament.
Yes.
Or world record pace, of course.
Oh, Jurga opting to do Nana before Petunia. Now, I should mention this because I have nothing else to say. For some reason, if you do certain things on Nana, I forget what they are exactly. One of Petunia's pearls, I believe her big pearl, will not spawn. So if you watch a 100% speedrun, or it's the other way around. Nana's pearls won't spawn. So if you watch a 100% speedrun, they do Nana first, even though it's technically not optimal, just because they do not want to have a risk of despawning a pearl. Because Petunia's pearls are very easy to miss, because they can get stuck behind a bathtub, and it's just a lot of time loss. So instead of having to deal with possibly losing a big pearl, they just take this very small amount of time loss. Now a 30...
just entering the Astral Hall, and the Flauke is going to drag the star here a little bit, so he can collect it without having to walk as far.
Okay, so, yeah. Jurga got the first double in Astral Hall. You might notice that they move a little bit weird in the Astral Hall, trying to get the ghost around the torch, because that can be very annoying when they get stuck behind the torch, trust me. Now, one of the rooms that actually seemed the hardest is Projection Room here. And when you learn a strat, it actually is not that bad. It's a room that I find to get very consistently with the strat I use. So this is one of the rooms where if you can get consistent at it, you can get really consistent at it, and you almost never miss it. So yeah, it's actually a little bit faster to vacuum that projector there. It's a very small amount. It doesn't really matter, so it's not really that big of a deal. He didn't go for it. So yeah. Ooh, he does it double a different way. This way is interesting. I usually do the same, but for the bottom one. That's interesting.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Very nice triple.
Jurga's taken another second or two to line up his moonshot, but getting it first try is better than not.
Unless you spend like 15 seconds on it, then it might not be worth it. But that's very rare that you need to spend 15. Usually like 10 is a lot. But yeah. So
Flauke's gonna get the glove here, which is arguably the best Mario item.
It's actually possible to grab the boo in the glove and save. It saves a very small amount of time. I think it's not even like, it's only like 2 or 3 seconds. It's very small. But you do have to re-grab fire in the study, meaning you lose a little bit of the time save. Only top runners go for it because of how risky it can be sometimes, especially when the boo's about to leave. It can be a little bit hard. So it's better just to not do it until you like really need the time save. Yeah, the boo can be in this bottle right here, which is actually pretty interesting. I never knew that until I started speedrunning it, because it was always like, where is it? And I'm like, oh wait, it's in there. It's a really weird spot to put a boo in. There are some very weird spots.
We want to have that boo in the table.
The table or the chair, yeah.
Because those are the closest.
Alright, this is the Twins Mobile. This is actually very annoying to spin. It's not like a normal fan where you just keep your vacuum on it.
You have to manually move it.
Yeah, you have to do it 3 times. It's kind of annoying. A lot of newer runners struggle with it. So, here's a cool thing about this, is that you would think that the Twins are RNG, but they're not. If you use an element or your vacuum on a box, the box shakes. Now, this is actually hinted to in the game, surprisingly. A book in the study says that they fear the elements. So if you're like, oh, they're gonna shake from fear or something, it's really bad. It's a really bad hint in my opinion. So yeah, it's just really not. There's really no way you would know unless you looked up a walkthrough or saw a speedrun. Pretty sure one of the first world records for this game actually kept resetting the segment until they got good RNG, which is kind of funny to think. So yeah, the plane twin here, Orville, can be sometimes annoying if he like changes his direction a lot. But Flauke having a very beautiful twins room. I envy that twins room quite a bit.
Yeah, that was quite a clean twins room.
this is actually one of the boos that can leave the fastest in the game. They can leave very fast, but this is I believe this boo in the entire game loses the least amount of time, even if he goes, because he can go up or left. If he goes up, he'll be in the hallway, and you have to walk through the hallway to get to the nursery. And if he goes to the nursery, you can just get him in there, and it gives the boo radar a little bit of time to become accurate, so the radar will become a little bit accurate, making the room easy to read. Now this is arguably one of my least favorite spots that like it's really bad for the boo to be in. It's that painting behind the chest. It's actually the most optimal spot, but I feel like it's very hard to tell if there could be a boo in there.
Jurga got the same Neville boo RNG as...
Flauke. They're only one room apart. Pretty cool that they're only one room apart. I feel like Jurga's gained on Flauke a little bit in Area 3. Now this is this room has lag because it's trying to load the balcony out back. But there's also the fact that they're trying to go for a tech skip here. And it saves even more time in this room than other rooms because of lag. Now, one thing I want to mention is that every boo after the 15th boo has their text is completely RNG. And there is something called Vanguard text, which is the longest text in the game, and it loses like a decent amount of time. I think it loses like 8 seconds versus the shortest text. So that can be good for that room, because if you were like gonna get Vanguard text, you'd also have lag, meaning you'd save or waste even more time. Whereas in that you can do the text skip.
Jurga accidentally invoking the speedy spirit.
Yeah, luckily he's not really an issue.
Yeah, he's kind of just sitting in his own corner over there.
Now, Clairvoyant is one of the arguably I really don't like Clairvoyant. It's just text mashing. It can hurt your hands if you're not very used to text mashing. Especially
what a lot
in English.
of people in the run like to call the carpal tunnel segment.
English is a lot worse because of the slower text, so you have more to mash through. Which is another good thing about JP is you have a little bit less hand strain you have to deal with.
Of course, that's not the main reason, but
Yeah,
Clairvoyant sucked up a bit differently, optimally, than the rest of the ghosts.
So yeah, Clairvoyant's pull is very weak. So you just want to hold the control stick away and spin the C stick, and that's how they do it, because I guess she wants to go into her painting, so she has a very weak pull. I don't know why she has any pull at all if that was the case, but you know what, hey. It's Nintendo.
Flauke just mashing away. Coming up here is the Bulasis one cycle strat.
Oh yes.
Which, if you played this
Bulasis is very annoying if you don't know the strat. Once you learn the speedrun strat, Bulasis becomes so much easier. Oh my god. Now the Bulasis has 3 different I guess phases. I don't know. He can either have, if you have 11 or more, he's big. If you have 6 to 10, he's medium, and 5 or less is small. When he is big or medium after the first cycle, it is really hard to deal with him. But when he's small, it's really easy, and I actually really like it when there's only 5 or less. It's very fun to deal with. I know it sounds weird, but I very much enjoy the way you do the thing. And also, unlike in Luigi's Mansion 3, Bulasis can't reform with 1 boo.
Thankfully.
Yes, thankfully. Oh my god, dude, that'd suck if he could. Because the amount of times I've had 1 boo left is pretty crazy. Now, Flauke is getting ice here. It's notoriously hard to remember. A lot of people forget ice here. So that he gets ice there because of the fact that he needs it for Safari. Because in Safari Room there are 3 blue blazes, and they require ice to kill them. So he needs to get ice to get them, otherwise he wouldn't be able to clear the room. And if you forget ice and you get all the way to Safari, it loses a decent amount of time, like close to 30 to 40 seconds, which is basically enough to let Jurga almost pull ahead. And that'd be pretty bad for Flauke, but good for Jurga.
Here's an example of the American text, or not the American text, the English text.
So yeah, one thing you might notice there is that when they was sucking up the blue blaze, he squished them against the wall and sped up his suck up animation. That's just a little bit faster. It saves a very little time, but it's just sometimes save.
So Flauke got the doubles there, which are some of the harder doubles to get in the game. A little bit harder setup.
I actually learned those doubles separately from all the other ones. So yeah, the Boo can only be in 3 places in this room, meaning that there's only 1 place he won't be in. All right, so there he switched to sidestep. If you guys know about the blackout, it's also pretty infamous. The ghosts spawn away from the wall, I guess you could say. It's kind of hard to explain. But when you walk in sidestep, it's possible to go through the entire blackout with 0 ghosts spawning. It's pretty incredible to do. Like it's really cool to watch just them avoid all the ghosts. So yeah, you'll see them switch to sidestep to do that, to keep their flashlight on the ghost at all times. So Bulas is at the very start. They're gonna be running around the statue and getting the ice element, and then they're gonna be walking backwards. And then once they reach the unicorn statue, they'll have essentially funneled in the booze to get close to him, and then they shoot the ice ball and they just try to get as many boos as they can. Optimally, you want 15 in 1 ice shot. That is incredibly rare. And I've only seen that happen a very, very few amount of times. So if it happens in this race, it'll be very legendary. But average, I'd say, is between 12 to 13, 11 maybe even. But if you have like 5 or 6, you're in a really bad situation.
Jurga thankfully not forgetting ice there.
Oh yes, that would have probably costed him the race.
But Flauke having a pretty, I wouldn't say messy, pop of Bulas.
That's a 12 Bulas, and he only has 1 left, and he 1-cycled. That was a very
really good.
Bulas. I'm pretty sure he would take that in a PB attempt. I would take that on pretty much any run. A 41:30 key. I think he might be on PB pace actually.
Yeah, I haven't seen his timer go red in a while. I don't know what he's comparing to though.
Yeah, I'm like, hold up. This is actually ahead of my PB.
Really?
Wait. No, that's average. It's a little bit behind my PB, and I have like my PB is like a minute better, so he can definitely get like a 101 this race, which would be pretty incredible.
Both of these runs from both the runners are really, really good.
They are pretty good. So yeah, right now I'm pretty sure Jurga also has a small chance of PBing. I don't see either. I only see their timers, so I don't know. But yeah, this is a very good race, I'd say, for both of the players. They probably would be happy with these times. So yeah, let's see jurgaburgaflinstines Bulas, because Flauke got a pretty good 1-cycle. Let's see if Jurga can match that. If he can, that'd be pretty hype. So yeah, going into Area 4, the very first Porsche goes to Area 4 will be Uncle Grimly. He is a random chance to show his heart. I believe the most delay is around 50 seconds, and you can also have 0 delay called Insta Grimly. And it's completely RNG. It's very rare for him to give more than like 5 to 10 seconds. As you saw, Flauke was going to double door. He held the R button. That was a skip. Him pulling out the vacuum. It saves like half a second. But it's worth getting. It's worth saving because it's just free time save.
Yeah, Grimly is what some people would refer to as just an RNG nightmare.
Uncle RNG.
So, Jurga is going to do Bulas. He can only hope for something matching Flauke's. Flauke's went for a really nice safe or fast strat that was really clean. I don't know what else to say about it.
Alright, let's see Jurga. Ooh, he has less than 5 boos left, and he's 1-cycling, I think, unless there's more than 1 boo left.
There was 2. There was a straggler on the other side. When
you pop Bulas, there's a chance for the boo to get stuck behind the unicorn statue, and if that happens, you kind of have to just chase him down.
So
and, here's the strat here for Bulas. Do you want to explain it?
Yeah. So the boo will charge at Luigi when Luigi isn't looking at the boo. So you can kind of trick him into running into your ice, which is
bait and switch.
It's really satisfying to pull off.
Oh yeah, dude, I love doing that shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, well, Flauke is not going for Pythagoras skip. Not very surprising there. If you can walk straight to the door. Oh, Instagram.
Flauke getting Instagrimly, which is going to put him ahead by a lot if Jurga can't match this.
It's all RNG though, so it's not like Jurga's outplaying Flauke or Flauke is outplaying Jurga. He's just getting good RNG. But you know what? This game is a lot about RNG. You can't expect every run to have perfect RNG.
Flauke actually golded Bulasis by a ton.
Okay.
He's on PB pace.
That's nice, dude. If he PBs, I don't know, that'd be pretty hype. So yeah. Flauke going to the breaker switch. This is the room that we were talking about with the breaker boo. You can spawn him and then have him charge you to the right and then drag him all the way to the left. And if you do art pumps and bring him to the right, you can slowly bring him to the middle and then bring him back to the left. And if you do that optimally, you can actually get 200 health in one cycle.
I don't think that Flauke is gonna go for it though, due to him being on PB pace.
Yes, that'd be a very bad idea. I don't know how.
Yeah, he walked away from it. This room has a lot of dust that can get in your way, but it's not too bad.
Fun fact: these dust pals are actually bigger on Pal Hidden Mansion. For some stupid reason. I don't know why they did that. That's like the most arbitrary thing to change. Like, why change the dust pile size? And these racks can be really annoying. I've lost several seconds of these racks because they just won't search and find the boo.
Little bit of the auto lock on that can really screw you over there.
Luckily, it's not that
Jurga is entering the blackout right now.
Yeah, let's see if he has Instagram. That'd be pretty good for him. That'd put him. That wouldn't decrease. That would not change the distance between them, which is he wants to try to decrease the distance. Flauke is trying to increase it right now. But if he got anything but Instagram, he can't really decrease the distance with Grimly because Flauke obviously had perfect RNG. But if he has really good movement, he can save some time here. Now this is a walk right here that you do 3 times in the run. Once to blackout, once to roof key, and then once to Vangor. It's a pretty annoying walk. It was a shame that you can't just teleport to up here like a reverse mirror warp. But you know what? It's not that big of a deal. You only have to do it 3 times, so it's not like it's very annoying. So coming up here is oh, let's see what kind of Grimly Jurga gets. Oh, almost instant. So
almost instant. So he still has a chance to come back.
Yeah, if Flauke has some pretty bad 150 HP boos, which can be very hard. I'm pretty sure I've seen Jurga one cycle those boos a couple times before, so I think he has a chance of getting them both in one cycle. Flauke though, Flauke definitely can one cycle, but there's also a chance that he can mess up, and that'd give Jurga a pretty big advantage if he leaves in a bad spot. So there is a couple of boos that we skip in this category because of how hard it would be to get them. Namely, this boo, the Clockworks boo. He's very annoying to get because the most optimal time to get him would be right after clearing this, and every room that the boo can go to is dark. Aside from the hallway and the back, but that's very rare. So it's not worth trying to get this boo over, say, Vangor boo or Breaker boo. Or even Pipe boo. Pipe boo would actually be faster, but nobody gets Pipe boo because it's slow. Now, Rooftop, there's something here where you can burn them all and then get a 6 tuplet. I believe it's barely faster than just burning them all if you do it very optimally, but that's very hard to do, so it's generally going to be slower. I believe Flauke likes to go for it a lot, but I don't think he's choosing to in this run. This double right here can be pretty annoying. Because of the fact that they can spawn anywhere on the roof, if you miss a double at the ladder, you have to walk all the way back to the fire and then have them spawn, and that loses you like a lot of time. It's not something you want to do. Sub 50 roof key for Flauke. So Flauke is on a very good run right now. Both these players are on pretty good runs. I bet they would not. I bet they would take this in the race. So yeah. Now Flauke coming up with one of the hardest rooms in the game to do very optimally, the Armory Room, because it also has lag, just because of the sheer amount of objects in it. If you see here, most of these objects have booze. I believe the objects that don't have booze are any objects that have ghost in it. So the chest in the upper left, and then the two chests in the upper left and bottom right, and then the upper left and bottom left, and then the 4 statues that have ghosts. Those won't have booze in it, but I'm pretty sure everything else can. And there are 3 objects on the. There are only a couple objects that are on the left side of the room, and that's where you want the boo to spawn. So you don't have to walk around to the I'm sorry, the right side of the room. You don't want to walk around to the left.
Flauke getting the triple there. That is one of the, again, a harder triple.
Is it pretty
to
hard
get because of the setup.
The
now.
setup is pretty big, and no, he did not have good RNG in Armory. Armory can be one of the most costly matches to have. Or most costly rooms to have bad RNG in.
Let's see if he can get a 1 cycle Armory boo.
He's off to a very good start. This boo is hard to 1 cycle because of the lag, and it looks like he's pumping. It looks like he's gonna lose him. Yeah, his pumps are a little bit fast, but you know what? It's because of the lag. That's why, because of the lag. The
it
lag,
is a bit unfortunate.
The lag makes it so your pumping rhythm has to be slower than normal. Ooh, going to telephone.
He's having a little bit bad boo RNG here.
Oh, he went back to Clockworks. Okay. So this is like a 15 to 20 second time loss, which is actually a decent amount being on PB pace. That's not something that you want to have happen.
I believe he'll still be.
Jurga gained a soldier double. Is he gonna drop it? He did. And Flauke preferring another save warp. Warp him just to the base, not having to walk all the way back or mirror warp. It's a little bit faster, especially if you go to Clockworks Room. So yeah, Jurga having some trouble in the soldiers, that's fine. They can really be annoying when there's especially when there's 2 of them trying to attack you, because they have pretty good range. So they can hit you from anywhere. And that was a very funny animation by Jurga. Sometimes when you are sucking up a ghost, you can just like stumble and keep sucking up the ghost, and it looks pretty funny in my opinion. Now Flauke approaching the pipe room. This room is completely optional to clear. The ghosts actually don't drop anything except the boo, which all rooms drop. So he's gonna try to avoid catching the ghosts here. He's usually you want to avoid spawning them, but because he already iced the ground, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal since he spawned them. So he's gonna go straight to the key and probably ignore the ghosts. There is a boo in here that has 300 health, and he's very easy to 1 cycle just because of how slow he moves. Like, it's crazy how slow he moves. So he'll just kind of just drag the boo. He'll ignore the boo, but in like the categories where you get the boo, you kind of just drag him around the room.
It's very satisfying to watch.
You might be noticing that this game requires 40 boos to complete. So there are 2 boos left. There is Weston boo and Van Gorpu. Van Gorpu is very fast because he can only go between the hallway and the room he's in, so you can't really lose much time to him. Weston boo is very hard because he not only has 150 HP, but the ground is ice, so you have to deal with ice physics, and ice physics are very annoying to deal with. Trust me. This boo can be very hard to get, but if you can get in a good position and get optimal pumps, he's not that bad to deal with. I'd say it's easier than Armory if you can get in a good position. Ooh, 9 health.
Flauke unfortunately letting Weston get away, but I've seen people recover from this before, and you should be able to.
It's only a couple seconds, like I think 7 to 8 seconds is Weston 2 cycle time loss. It's not that big of a deal. Nothing really noteworthy. Jurga having trouble in the Armory Room. That's a pretty hard room, so can't really blame him on that. Ooh, Flauke bonking.
Flauke having a pretty rough time with this Weston boo.
This West, especially because you don't clear pipe room. Some beginners like to clear pipe room because they will frequently lose the Weston boo to the pipe room, and you can just get the boo in pipe room, and it's a little bit easier to deal with because you don't have ice physics and he's at usually less health. But 143 HP is not even a guaranteed 2-cycle, which is pretty rough. This boo is definitely not very nice. So it's not very surprising that he struggled with this boo.
So, the real question is, will Flauke still be on PB after this? Jurga unfortunately misses the Armory 1 cycle, but...
Let's see if he goes back to Armory, if he goes to telephone.
He can go back to Armory.
That's a very small time loss, assuming that he gets a 2-cycle right here.
Seems like Flauke went in the red there. He is 0.6 behind his PB.
You know what? That's recoverable. I wouldn't be surprised if he could recover this. 0.6 is not a lot. I don't think his PB has a 2-cycle King Boo. So Van Gore here is basically just a bunch of triples. It's basically like a it's like a gauntlet of all the normal ghosts in the game, except the bomber ghost, but those really don't count. But then again, they have the ceiling ghost, so I don't know. And Flauke forgetting to get the fire from the double door, that's fine though, it's only a little bit of time. Jurga gained the health because on English, the Weston icicles deal 40 damage. So if he got hit by one of them, he would have been dead. But now if he gets another heart, he can afford to get hit by 2 of them and still be alive, which is very good. That makes
Flauke coming into Van Gore here. He's gonna try and get the triples. Most of the triples here can be fairly easy. However, the grabber ghosts have finicky hitboxes, so it could be a lot harder for them.
So yeah, usually you want to back away from them. That way they get clumped up more. You just funnel them like you do in Blue Losses. I'd say of all these, probably the easiest is the Shy Guy triple. Just because when you suck off their mask, they're basically guaranteed to be all right next to each other. So yeah, the Trash Can Ghost triple can also be kind of hard as well if you don't push them the right way. So we'll see if Flauke has the good Trash Can Ghost triple. Coming up on the Grabber Ghosts. And there he goes. We got him the triple.
That was really impressive.
Now he goes for the Shy Guy Ghost. That was pretty impressive. He's pulling out all the big strats here because he wants to get that juicy PV. Now, on these last ghosts here, I believe they're called the Ceiling Surprises. You will fire them instead of sucking them up. Because the time it takes to set the triple is just like slower than just firing them. Plus you can't, if you suck them up, you can walk away to Van Gore while they're being burned.
Jurga got Weston to break away with 3, which is just quite unfortunate.
Yeah, both having 2.
Thankfully he still has health, but...
Let's see if Jurga can pull off the Weston Boot 1 cycle.
That would put him pretty far.
That would definitely help him.
Yeah, a lot.
One thing that's very nice about Van Gorpu, this is probably one of the easiest moves to deal with in the game, because not only can he only go between Van Gore's room and the hallway, but he can only hide in 2 objects. So if he's not in one object, you know immediately where he is. Unless he switches, then you still know where he is. So as soon as you check one object, you will know at all times where Van Gorpu is. Unless like he switches the frame that the decoy pops out, and then like the laughs get combined or something like that. It's really doesn't. It's not really a big deal, especially in RTA. And Flauke missing out on the 3 cycle.
Jurga did not get the 1 cycle on Weston, but at a less a nicer time with it than Flauke did, to put it lightly.
Yes, he definitely did. He didn't have to go to Pipe Room, which is like the biggest time loss. Oh, and Jurga has trouble with the depth perception of grabbing that fire. And now Flauke is heading to King Boo. This run definitely can PB 100% if he gets a 2 cycle. I think he can even fast 3 cycle. So King Boo has 3 different cycles that you usually expect to get. A 2 cycle where you just 2 cycle him, it's pretty hard to do. A fast 3 cycle where you keep King Boo above 200 health, because I bet if you guys played this game, you saw that King Boo takes his head off and then he turns it around and then he runs around and he puts it right side on. But you probably didn't know is that that's caused by him being below 200 health. So if you keep him at above 200 health, he will never do that, and that's called a fast 3 cycle. Now, a 2 cycle is very optimal, but it's pretty hard to get. I actually think I've seen Jurgo get it and Flauke both get it a couple times, so they both could definitely get it. Yeah. So Flauke's timer is kind of cut off there. It's fine. You know it's an hour. So yeah, if this run goes all as well, when you enter this cutscene, you add 2 minutes to your timer. This will be very close to a 101. It's going to be a very low 1 hour 2 minute, which is a very good run. A PB in a tournament like this is pretty insane.
Flauke entering King Boo is 5 seconds ahead of his PB, so it's definitely possible.
If he has a 2 cycle King Boo, he can beat his PB by around 30 to 40 seconds.
Jurga's choking a bit here on the...
These doubles are pretty... These is like one of the more annoying doubles.
Yeah.
But Jurga can still PB, actually, if he plays very good. Which, I bet he can. I don't doubt him.
He's really struggling with these pink ghosts.
These purple punchers are pretty annoying. So Flauke here, coming up on the King Boo fight. Let's see how he does. If he gets the very elusive 2 cycle and gets a very big PB, or even a fast 2 cycle, a 3 cycle, he will PB. So as long as he doesn't accidentally bring King Boo's health below 200, which is very easy to do because you do a lot of damage very quickly. Like you can try letting go of the R button at like 205 and you'll get dragging like 199, 198. It's like the worst feeling because you realize that you just lost a lot of time. Flauke having a pretty good start of the first cycle. This could be a 2 cycle.
I think he's going for
risky.
it.
It's risky. It's a very risky 2 cycle. Let's see if he goes for it. If he stops doing damage at 200, he's going for the fast 3. But if he tries to drag him below 200, he'll be going for the 2 cycle. Moment of truth. He's going for it. Oh no.
This could potentially lose him.
Oh, this has to be it. As long as he doesn't get ice, this is pretty good. Oh,
So Flauke had him get away at
like
13.
13. Flauke is still PB though, which is so it's not like a very bad thing. He's still PBing, which is very unless he messes this up very badly. But a PB is a PB, I guess you could say. Oh no, he got hit. Alright. His PB is a 102.40 something. It's like a
102.40. That is a PB.
Very well done by Jurga or Flauke. Jurga as well. Jurga's doing pretty good too. Don't forget about him.
Jurga could be getting this 2 cycle Van Gorpu, unless there was another cycle I missed, but
nah, it's not gonna be a 2 cycle. But you know what, that's fine. His PB is not dead yet. If he did get a 2 cycle, which I believe his PB did, he can still PB because it's about 45 seconds from when you enter the mansion. And I believe he has a PB of like a mid 106 or 107, I forget. Actually, I think it's a low 106, isn't it? I forget his PB. Oh! Actually, it doesn't lose any time. No, Jurga. So for those who don't know, in Hidden Mansion, you do double damage. I probably should mention this actually. But you actually don't deal any more damage to Boos. Which basically means that Normal Mansion doesn't lose you any time if you select it for King Boo. I don't know if Jurga knows that, and that's why he picked Hidden Mansion, but it's not that big of a deal. He caught the mistake quickly. So it's all good.
Flauke PB'd by 6 seconds.
Yes, that's a very good PB. I feel pretty good about this. If I was Flauke, I'd feel pretty good about this. A PB in a tournament, like that's pretty big.
Yeah. Especially with the 3 cycle. He did have a very good Boolossus and Grimly.
Yes, that was very good. He had the best Grimly you can get, plus a pretty good Boolossus. Like those were 2 of like definitely the high points, even though Grimly is just RNG, but it was still very nice to have an attorney. So
Jurga, although not winning the tournament, could get his own personal win as a PB. So we'll just have to see here if he can get that 2 cycle.
He needs a 2 cycle. Actually, I don't actually know what time the first text box appeared because it's different on English.
107 is Jurga's PB.
107.01 is his PB, but I don't know if he can PB with a fast 3 cycle. He probably can be close. At least he'll get time I'm pretty sure he'd be happy with.
We'll have to see. If this is double PBs, this match goes down and
this is pretty good. This is gonna be a pretty good match, a double PB in a ring. It really comes down to the 2 cycle. That's where his time loss is gonna be, or his time. That's where it's really gonna matter. So everybody, get your bless RNGs in the chat for Jurga to please just 2 cycle. So he gets a PB. Because a PB here would be pretty sick, honestly.
So he has to just not get hit by the ice. It would be...
he has to deal enough damage. If he just... It's not just enough to not get hit.
Oh, he got 267, which I don't think you can get a 2 cycle with.
You can get a 2 cycle with, I believe, around 275 if you play perfect. Jurga probably is going to go for the... Actually, can he still PB without... I don't know if he's going to go for the 2 cycle. He might just go for it because why not? He's going for it.
Looks like he is going for it.
This is a beautiful start of the cycle.
Oh,
Ooh.
He got hit by the ice there, which is quite unfortunate.
That was a very, very good start of the... A very good start. That was like insanely good. First, like the start of that second cycle was very beautiful. He probably could have still 2 cycle with that, actually.
Unfortunately, he is not getting PB here.
That sucks, but you know what? He's really close to his PB, and that's all that matters.
Those were both really good runs from both runners who...
Hello. Hello, Flauke.
Hello.
Yo, Flauke's in here?
I'm in here, boys.
How'd you feel about that epic PB, man? Those Area 4 boos, man, they were pretty rough, weren't they?
I was playing out of my mind until Area 4.
Hey, but you know what, man? You PB'd. That's pretty good.
This is a very beatable PB. I'd say I lost about a minute in Area 4. The Armory Boo and Weston Boo both gave me a lot of hell. It was
they were pretty rough on you.
Yeah, this could have 101'd if that didn't happen.
And if you 2 cycle King Boo.
And if I 2 cycled.
You 2 cycle King Boo plus have good Area 4 boos, you can probably get like a mid 101 actually.
But yeah, this actually was the best speedrun I've actually had in probably 2.5 weeks.
It's insane that you got that in the tourney race.
Yeah, I don't know if the nerves made me play better or not. It was...
Jurga's in the wrong channel.
No. You go in there first to set up your microphone and stuff. Make sure you're all good, so then you don't like go into the call. But yeah, that race was insane.
Oh, yep. Yeah, that was a pretty good race. Yo, Jurga.
Hello.
You were very close to hitting your PB.
Yeah, that was alright.
You guys both played insane.
Dang,
Thank you very much.
You entered Noel Mansion going to King Boo.
Yeah, I realized that, but I was thankfully I saved, so I didn't panic.
Luckily, going into Normal Mansion doesn't lose time because Boo damage is the same on Hidden Mansion and Normal Mansion.
Oh.
So yeah, next time you do that going into King Boo, you can actually just keep going because it doesn't lose you any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
it also means that you don't take double damage as well,
yes,
so it's actually beneficial.
It actually might be worth going for in English, going into Normal Mansion for King Boo because of you taking half damage. Maybe that might be a strat for English.
I think Flauke actually taught me that strat in my stream once.
But yeah, and I think it's everyone's dream to PB in the race.
Yeah.
And
there's always losers for Jurga to PB in.
Yeah, losers.
I'm very happy. I can't wait to kick Joven's ass.
Whoa.
Whoa, okay, come on there, rookie. Like,
Whoa.
you know what's funny? I was in Flauke's stream beforehand this tournament started, and he was like really freaking out and panicking that I just went Super Saiyan and like grinded every day. But I was like, nah.
Secret sub hour.
Yeah,
secret sub hour.
I thought you were just playing the whole time because I'm like, it's right before the tournament, right before our match. Why wouldn't he play? Like,
No.
he has to be grinding, and then he told me you didn't, and yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't played in a week, and actually, when I messaged you, I like came home from work like 30 minutes from then. I was just like eating food.
Wow.
Joven said smiley face.
Oh, you know what? I just realized another thing that really messed me up.
Mm-hmm.
I 2-cycled Bogmire as well.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And oh my god, this is gonna be such an easy run to beat.
Oh, you PB'd.
Yeah, I
PB
PB.
on Joven, you won't.
Yeah, dude, congrats, Flauke.
Thank
Oh, yeah,
you.
can PB on Joven, definitely.
I also golded 2 of my splits.
Okay.
Um,
okay.
30 seconds off of some of best being sub hour.
I assume you're very happy with this performance.
Oh, I'm so surprised. Like,
How about you, Jurga? Are you happy with your race? You're only 8 seconds behind your PB, which is pretty good for a race.
Honestly, I'm pretty happy that I managed to like pull through and like not get super tilted when I made mistakes. So that's the important thing for me.
So yeah,
And I'm happy
what
with this time.
A pretty good race. You both were very close to your PB. Flauke, you PB'd. Jurga, you were super close.
I didn't die or take 2
Yeah,
hours.
You almost.
You
did
guys were pretty close for area 1 and a lot of area 2.
Yeah. At the end of area 2 is when Flauke started to pull ahead because of your hidden room, and
Mhm.
because he has the JP time save from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I messed up the hidden room quite a bit.
Oh yeah, you both did.
But I
wait,
had a
you
really
got the
lucky
quad.
spawn.
You got backup quad.
Yeah, I got a
Jurga
backup.
Didn't sadly get the quad.
That's
Was
alright.
that Boolossus strat intentional, or did you just do it?
Oh, yeah, no, that, I didn't know where the ice was. I thought it actually spawned out of bounds, and then I went back and saw it was behind the statue. That's usually how I set it up. I just kinda huck it back.
Found a new Boolossus strat that makes it super free.
I usually do stuff like that, but, yeah, that was, I actually, golded Boolossus by about 10 seconds or so.
So yeah, that was that was pretty fun to watch. You both did pretty good. That hopefully gives you some confidence, Flauke and Jurga, that you guys both can definitely PB.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat Flauke's butt next time. Like, won't even be close.
I'm actually hoping that a new PB will give me better splits to run against, because this is a lot more even than
Yeah, I always lose time in area 4. Like I've always had like sub-hour paces in the armory, and then I just lose it. Like those boos are a big issue for me. Those are
Mhm.
very hard boos.
and that Grimly was such a surprise.
Jurga had almost best Gremlin. I think he had like a 1 second delay, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
1 to 2 seconds, which is very good.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think you both had not that bad RNG.
Actually, this is the best RNG I think I've ever had in my life.
Really?
It's
Dang.
the
Yeah.
best RNG I've seen aside from the tasks, like live.
Like, did you get
Yeah.
any like bad RNG like anywhere? Like,
Well, I got a
on
few bad RNG spots, but nothing too bad.
Your RNG
Okay.
in Moonshot was very good.
Yeah, I think the worst room that I had RNG in was either Armory or like Weston, and it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure all the rooms, all 3 boos in Moonshot was perfect. I think you had perfect RNG, except maybe Astral Hall.
Yeah, Astral
Yeah.
Hall had second try, but it was in a spot that I immediately checked.
Some of the rooms that like you had bad RNG was like the study was pretty bad.
Oh, the study was bad too.
I think you both had the same RNG in study.
Mhm.
And I was think, was there any other bad? Oh yeah, you both got ER.
Oh, early release, yeah.
When I got ER, that was still when I'm like, all right, let's test the waters, see how Jurga's doing, and I got ER, and I'm like, oh man, if Jurga doesn't get it, free 10 seconds, and he got it.
You you were
well,
very close to
goddamn.
getting a sub 10 boo release.
Yeah. If I had a little bit of a better area 1 and my Shy Guy doubles were cleaner, that probably would have been a 958.
958, 959. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's probably the second. No, that ties the best Bulasis or not Bulasis Boo release I've ever had.
Were you on best pace ever after Bulasis? Like, was your Bulasis key your best time ever for that split?
It was a gold.
Yeah.
Like, was that your best split time, or was that just the gold?
Like,
that's the best pace
comparing to my gold. Wait, where's my gold? Compared to my gold, it was pretty close, I believe.
How about your best split times? Like, your best pace that you've ever been on?
This is being weird. One sec, I'm gonna need to reset my timer just so I could see what I'm comparing against. Compared to my sum of best, it was yeah, it was pretty close. I was a little bit behind because of Ice and Bogmire, and my best splits ever, can't really see them too well because I don't have the detail timer. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I think it's the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna submit this. I'm just gonna submit the race as the proof.
Okay. Now everybody will see how destroyed I got by.
I probably won't do that. I'll probably just highlight the stream.
Jurga, what was going through your head when you missed Nana? Cute.
When I missed Nana, I was just really like annoyed. Like, really, bro? Like.
Yeah.
And then it happened again. I'm just like, really?
That was really rough.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't for that, you might have PB'd.
Yeah, I would have PB'd if I didn't have that, or just like a lot of things.
The start of your second cycle King Boo was really good. Like, that was gonna 2-cycle, I'm pretty sure, if you didn't get hit by the ice ball.
Yeah, that's why I went for it, because I'm like, if I can, like, I wouldn't normally go for it, but I know that if I could get really close to King Boo and just like avoid the ice balls, then I could get it. But
that was probably the best start of a King Boo cycle I've ever seen. Like, that was really something there. Like, you were dealing damage almost as much as you could. You probably could have, like, if you kept that going the entire time, you could, like, 2-cycle from, like, 270 or maybe, I don't know.
I think you can. 270 is really pushing. I think it is possible, though.
I think Nick did it from 272.
No.
Once.
I still don't know what happened in my King Boo 2-cycle. I don't know if I was pumping too slow or too fast, or I wasn't close enough.
Yeah, it looked really good.
But
I don't know what
it was really close. I got him down to 11 HP, and then he left.
Yeah, like I saw him. I saw it, and I was like pretty sure that you were getting 2-cycle, and he just broke off. I think he got too close to King Boo's, to Bowser, and he went back in. That's probably what happened.
If you get close to Bowser, does he tend to try and go back?
Yeah, he goes back.
Yeah, because he kind of goes in the direction.
Oh,
that
okay.
Direction,
yeah, that was the mistake I did.
Oh.
But yeah. GG.
Yeah, I think that pretty much concludes the race, which was really fun to watch and commentate.
That was,
thank you guys for commentating, and thank you for to HD for organizing this event.
Oh yeah.
My boy HD.
Really coming in clutch this year.
Yeah, thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting.
And
well.
yeah, thank you to SpeedGaming for providing the platform for us to run.
Wow.
Yeah, so I guess that's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Well,
No, there's nothing.
we
should keep it a little. We should keep it shorter though.
Yeah, we don't really have much to talk about.
This is about to turn into a podcast.
Yeah.
About a single race. All right. Well, I think that's everything. Take our time.
We'll do HD.
Wow, I just watched the viewers drop like 50 once we said it was the end of the stream.
It do be like that.
It do be like, yeah.
Wow, free promotion. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, don't follow me. I'm not good at this game.
Follow
Wow,
Jurga.
humble
Did you
Follow
see that?
Jurga.
Did you see that insane race you just did?
Follow
Everybody.
Jurga. He is so handsome.
No, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. I'm ugly and
He is so handsome.
Self-deprecating much?
a lot of
Jeez.
acne.
Let's go, guys. That
Alright,
was a good
guys.
race.
All right. Y'all have a good
GG.
day. GG.
Yeah, you too.
GG.